Good morning, everybody. We're recording at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I've been awake for 65 minutes. Yeah.
Catch up sleep.
Well, now, Paul, I'm doing my new... So I'm on a quest to 7,000 steps every day.
Okay.
And I usually note that if I get there, I can get to 10.
If you get to 7, you can get to 10.
But I don't want to be holden by 10. I know there's some days where 10 is hard.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing now is walking laps at work until 1:30.
Oh, like so you're done with the gig, and then you walk for a half hour.
Keep in mind, I pay for a gym.
That you don't.
But I basically go to gym at work.
Yeah. Well, good.
So I'm leaving the building at 1:30 with 5,000 steps.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Which counts for the new day.
Of course, the new day. Yeah, it does.
So I can sleep in a little later. I don't have to get up and rushed.
Mm-hmm. I
don't have to stress about a walk.
Yeah.
So if you can, guys, walk at 2 a.m.
Isn't this the Marco Belletti plan?
A little bit, yeah.
Because doesn't he go to the? I just heard that one time when he was saying he walks around the high school track.
He gets done at like 3, 4, or 5, and then he does laps at the high school before he goes home.
Yeah,
and has to take the kids to school, and then
yeah,
as my kid will say, honk she, honk she, honk she. That's how we say sleeping.
Whoa! I'm not kidding you.
You do it too?
Yeah.
Honk shoo.
Honk she, honk she, honk she.
Honk shing, honk shing. That's so weird.
No, that's pretty common, I think.
Is it? Okay, I don't know.
It's like, Paul, when my kid and I fall down, we say, boing. See, what? You too?
I don't do that, actually.
Oh, okay.
See?
So we're recording.
I don't know that Hong Shing was like
honk, she, honk. Well, we say she.
Honk. I don't know what it's a noise, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We say honk shoe. SHEW.
Honk shoe.
Honk shoe.
We say sleep with one eye open, you little bitch.
I thought you were quoting some Metallica for Grant.
Sleep with one eye open.
See, I think it's different if you grew up in the era where Lars was trying to take down Napster.
That was definitely a negative for people of our like.
Yeah,
dude, Lars, can we just download it? I waited all night for this file.
Yeah, I waited 7 hours for Hey Now I'm an All-Star to fucking download on my Kazaa. Let me do it. I want to give a shout out here. So it's Wednesday. We're 2 games down in the Brewers series against Anaheim. They play Wednesday night, and then they're in San Diego starting Thursday. Another great win. I was so confused because I had it on my computer, and Frelick puts his arm up, and I think the ball's on the floor, on the grass, because that's where my computer mouse was.
Oh.
So, does this fucking idiot not know he didn't catch the ball? And then I was looking at replays, and I was because I was going to try to video where I thought the ball was, and it didn't work out. But then I was looking at replays. I'm like, wait a minute. Did he catch the ball? Because it looked like he just went like this and was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. Yeah, I got it. I never saw him toss it. I never saw him do anything on the TV. But he caught the ball. Great. Vincent's in Anaheim. He has been hanging out there. Of course, he loves Anaheim, but he also loves the Milwaukee Brewers among maybe 4 or 5 other teams. So he had the Brewers hat on again last night with the Angels jersey. So here is Vincent in Anaheim. See him?
See him.
Hey, what's up, man? Man, it was a good one, man. Boots on the motherfucking ground once again. Shout out to the Bart Winkler person, all everybody else, man. It was a game we lost. Like I said, I'm down with the Brew Crew. I'm down with the home team. Hey, man, I'll keep it real. I wanted my Angels to come back on the Brewers, man. But hey, the Brewers, man. Hey, who plays center field? Who plays center field? Someone remind me. Great catch. Great catch, period, man. So that's it. Game 2, go to the Brew Crew. It's all good, win or lose, man. Still down with the home team. Anaheim, hey, Brewers, made it a game. My Angels made it a game. Great game, man. Game 2 goes to the Brew Crew, man. Boots on the motherfucking ground. Shout out to the Bart Winkler show.
So I thought at first he was being like, "Yo, who plays center field? Who plays center?"
he just
But then he
didn't
was asking like, "Guys, who plays center field?"
He just really genuinely wanted to know.
So I like it. If nothing else, Brewers, you can start the proceedings.
Well, okay,
Wow.
sure.
It's a wild lack of foreplay. That was really
What?
right. Yeah, let's do it. No, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I just shot out Vincent at you. What else can I?
I know.
possibly-
When Vincent listens to this in December, it's gonna be big. When he hears this in 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah. He was commenting yesterday. He was commenting yesterday, but I don't know that he was actually watching. I think he was just in the comments.
Is he the guy? Was he the old 1250 caller who you wondered if he was real, or was that someone else on the West? There was a caller you had, I swear, that you questioned was real or not.
It might have been Vincent. I think like what sometimes people will call up with is a take or a personality or a character that if I was trying to script something,
This is it, yeah.
I wouldn't be that clever.
Mm-hmm.
Even something like, oh, a guy passionately loves 5 teams in every league, and somehow the Brewers are one of them. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And I still don't know how he found the show.
Odyssey.
I don't know.
I mean, the best app in existence, I thought.
Well, that's why I've been sleeping so long and so good, is because I just put it under my phone or I put my phone under my pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know how when you used to cram for a test, you'd put the encyclopedia under your bed?
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that yeah.
Yeah.
First topic for you. You guys ready for like my official heel turn?
I don't think you're ready for it, but sure.
Okay, so Bart, you do a good job of when you really like the Boston Celtics 18 titles thing. You try to explain that I'm just sorting through my feelings. This is just the deal. I'm not trying to do a thing. This is not a take I'm trying to get over. This is one that I just was wondering the other day, and it probably sounds like a major heel turn. But I'm just sorting through my feelings on this as we do on this podcast. So I'll preface by saying there was a handful of tweets about this is about the Packers. This is about Green Bay hosting the NFL draft. This is where my heel turn might happen. Pro Football Talk, of course, your friend over there, had an article about it. Hotel rooms booked, Airbnb prices skyrocketing in Green Bay. Then there was a follow-up quote tweet to that about, I copy and pasted. I apologize to the person who wrote this, but that multiple Green Bay hotels have said that the NFL already booked every room in the city, making it nearly impossible for out-of-town fans to attend. I did see your real-life best friend, Corey Banke, said that the house that's 2 doors from him is $17,000 a night. $17,000 a night during the NFL draft. My topic for you, as I sort through my feelings on this.
Are you trying to wonder if Cheesehead TV should take the cash?
Well, I mean, I would rent my house for $17K a night. If that's
part of the allure is being the site that's broadcasting, right? I mean, that's tough. That's got to be tough.
Well, could you make it back because of that? Could you make that money back by
if they just broadcast from the house, they're not making $17,000.
I was going to say they're not making 17 grand with their draft show on night one of the. Yes, they could make it back, and then
so
that's what
you're
wondering.
So then, yeah, you'd have to do it, wouldn't you?
Then you hook up
super
with the
chats
bar.
or no super chats. They're
You
not.
hook up with the bar you did the draft from and go do it there.
Seriously, it's
you
like
can sell the house. You got to sell the house.
Rent the house.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, hey, I'm gonna $17K for night 1, $17K for night 2, and then we'll give you a night 3 discount, only $16K. You guys just made $50,000 for a 3-night rental. All of this to say, and again, I don't know what my opinion yet is, but I'm certainly wondering. Sad as it is, Green Bay this is unfortunately proof that Green Bay shouldn't and isn't built as much as we might want it to be. It's not infrastructure set up for the draft, certainly never a Super Bowl, but that this is kind of showing the reason why, the cracks in the plan, the reason for the delay, that Green Bay's unfortunately just not set up for this.
Where's the heel turn?
I don't want to be anti-Green Bay getting the draft, but it kind of feels like
You're just sorting through your feelings.
Well, like I said, but people think that's a heel turn for you sometimes. Like, oh, how can you dare say that? You're like, no, I'm just telling you what. So maybe it's not a heel turn. Maybe it's just a question and a curiosity. But I wondered if it would come off as like, what are you doing? You wanted to just go to Vegas? You wanted to just go to New York? Give it. So I'm glad that Green Bay's getting it, right? But unfortunately, the question is, so I would say the topic. Unfortunately, as much as we might want it to not be true, Green Bay it's already showing why Green Bay is not set up for this scale of an event. Or mm-mm.
I'm going to defer to my friend Grant if he's so inclined.
Because it's June of 2024 and the draft is in April of 2025.
But if every room is already booked,
who the fuck did Eli Berkovitz tweet that out? He's like, I called all the hotels and they said it's like, I don't know.
There's not. I mean, go ahead. Yeah, you go.
No, I just think we see one thing from somewhere and it gets blown up and maybe it's a catastrophe. I don't know. Oh, hotel rooms are expensive. I don't know. Do you have the means and the free time to go attend a big thing or not? You know what I mean? Like this is a very different scale. I have a hotel or a wedding in Two Rivers, whatever they call it, in the end of July. Rooms at the hotel were $350 a night. $350 for a hotel little wedding. Like hotel rooms are expensive, man. Of course they're expensive. It's the draft. So like either you can go or you can't. So I'm not saying like stop being poor, but that's part of it. Like you need discretionary income to do things like this. So I don't know. Maybe it ends up being a catastrophe, but I'm not stamping my flag on that take June, a year before the draft, because somebody called some hotels in Green Bay and was like, the NFL booked it all up. I don't know. It's just a little premature for me, Paul. That's it.
Well, if the NFL is booking it up, that's kind of bullshit. Like
that's not Green Bay's fault.
Well, the NFL can't have a draft here and then book all the hotels and then de facto jack up the price, and then they're going to be like, guess Green Bay was a failure.
Because guess who had insight into when the draft was going to be before anyone else and could then already pre-book the rooms.
But can you book that far in advance?
Oh, sure.
Kyle Shanahan once said, I don't even know if we'll be alive next week. And the NFL is like, I don't think you can book hotels that far in advance.
That was fucked up.
That was fucked up.
I did like Joe Mazzulla's quote where he's like, someone telling you you're good is as bad as someone telling you suck.
I didn't catch that one.
Oh, yeah, that was one of many.
Guy, but
I think a few things on this. I think that, first of all of this would be solved if there was high-speed rail in Wisconsin, because then you could stay anywhere, and who gives a fuck?
Also, you could stay in Milwaukee. It's less than 2 hours away for a 2-night thing.
But so Milwaukee to Green Bay. Let's say you want to go from Milwaukee. Let's say you're staying that far, because obviously there's Appleton where teams already stay in the first place.
Gosh.
Yeah. You know, there are plenty of hotels up and down the Fox Valley, and I think we in our heads think of Green Bay as, you know, however big it is. But I was looking at where the Florida Panthers play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like in Miami,
you're like 30 minutes away.
It's like an hour away.
Oh, maybe with traffic, yeah.
And the city of Dallas, like, do you ever realize how much that city takes up
Houston.
on a map? Yeah, these places are gigantic. A lot of these places are like Oshkosh is one end of town and Green Bay's the other.
Good take. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So it is far. I think the issue would be because it is actually different cities, and there's little like, it's not like, oh, you know, I'm in Fort Worth, I got to go to Dallas. It's like I'm in Oshkosh, and then there's a little tiny space, and then we're here, and then there's a little between Kaukauna, and it's like, oh man, I'm still not in Green Bay yet. Yeah. But if it was like Phoenix, you'd be like, well, I'm on the other side, but it's still, my brain thinks I'm a dum-dum head. It's just a bigger city.
I'm just on the 10, and I got to get over to the airport.
So I think one issue with people is like if they want to like hang out and glugly. I don't know if you do glugly with your kids.
I don't know that one.
but I like Ubers and taxis. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should Uber for the weekend.
Dude, yeah, you would, yeah. Or rent out.
Well, like, so if I'm desperately hoping, you know, as long as I'm still alive and employed by the NFL draft, that we can go to this one.
Mhm.
And like
Me
me for sure needs to. Where am I going to stay? I'd probably stay at my in-laws
In Fondy?
in Appleton.
Mm.
But what
Yeah.
am I going to do? Stroll up with Zach Gelb and JR to crash on some couches?
That would actually be kind of sick. Do they have like a Midwestern? Like, would it be a good Midwest experience?
I mean, the heart of Appleton.
Like Midwestern basement, like any, like, it might be kind of cool.
Oh, a little more contemporary basements, but definitely the basement, a functional and featured part of the home.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would. I think they would get a different experience than the big city living.
I mean,
Mhm.
Appleton, it's not like you're out in Anago. Like, it could be like staying in Appleton. There are a lot worse things. I think that's a great point about like if you just thought of the whole Fox Valley as one big metropolis, like Houston or like LA, people would think about it differently, staying different places. This might be even easier because if you're staying at a hotel in Oshkosh, you just hop on whatever 41 or 43, whichever one it is. You're not sitting in bumper to bumper
Whichever one
traffic.
it is, Grant.
I don't know. I didn't grow up on this side of the state. I don't know what it is.
It's 41, dog.
Okay. Well, thank God. Give me. I deserve.
Well, it's
that
an
part.
interstate. It's a recently turned interstate.
What the hell, Grant?
Did I really deserve that? Did I deserve to be dressed down for not knowing the difference between these?
41. You could ride 41 all the way down to Florida.
If I grew up in Fond du Lac and had parents in Florida, maybe that would matter to me, Bart.
Oh, they're
Maybe
back
it
for
would.
the summer.
Where are they staying on the couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't find hotels in Oshkosh.
No, Grant.
By the way,
I don't know highways, so
I drove through Oshkosh and near Fond du Lac for the first time last weekend because we did the drive from Waukesha up to Eagle River. I did a carpool and we left from a park and ride. I've never done that drive before. I'm out on Oshkosh. I'm out completely. I felt like I was approaching Wall Drug, the way they just blast you with billboards for smoke shops and for everything. I didn't like it. I didn't like the feel.
You went through Fond du Lac?
I don't near it.
Yeah, the Fond du Lac drive there, it sucks. It's a lot of like shitty strip mall kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like just real basic ass buildings that have been a bank, a convention center, a cousin somehow.
Yeah.
Just like random shit like that. It's not a good representation. Not that there is one, but it looks very shitty. And then you get to Oshkosh, a town I've just flat out been disgusted with my whole life.
Which one you discussed it by?
Oshkosh.
Oshkosh.
I think the town map and layout is a broken fucking mess. I don't think they take advantage enough of their lake and or river. It's very disgusting. The downtown is stupid.
Jeez.
Do they have a Music Mile or what is it? Or that's in Appleton, right? What is that?
Mile of Music.
Mile of Music. All right. Is that cool? I had a listener lecture me because I said Appleton sucks because everyone I met at UWL from Appleton thought they were the hottest shit in the world. Like they were from Los Angeles.
If you live in Appleton, you think you live on the Madison Avenue of Wisconsin.
That's what I'm saying. Where does it come from?
I don't know.
Like we could be in this is always what I would experience. We could be in a social group. Let's say there's 5 people and one's like, I'm from Chicago. And another one's like, I'm from Minneapolis. And one's like, I'm from Milwaukee, born and raised right downtown. And then someone else in the group will be like, oh, I'm from Oshkosh. Like that is comparable. And it's not, and I don't get where they get this sense of entitlement.
Well, even I met people in college that would be like, oh, I'm from Waukesha. But they'd say Milwaukee.
Well,
that's fine, right?
No, but so you're in Oshkosh. What do you say? What do you say? I'm from
Oshkosh.
Green Bay?
No, you say Oshkosh. To the majority, and Milwaukee people fucking get all bent out of shape when you say stuff like this, but to the majority of the state, like anything a Conomowocan in can be Milwaukee. And then if someone is like, oh, where in Milwaukee? Well, actually, out in Waukesha. Like that's not offensive. You know what I mean?
No.
Like that's, and I would tell people I'm from Bio Claire. And if they know if they know that area of the state and they ask, then I can specify, right? But like, it's a convenience thing. Don't get all bent out of shape because people lump Waukesha into Milwaukee. They're 20 minutes away.
If you were an alien that came down, or even a time traveler, but somehow you found yourself in Appleton and you walked around for 2 to 3 days, you would go back to your superior and be like, yeah, I mean, it's a decent town, a lot of corner bars. People seem relatively happy. I don't know if they are happy or just don't know that there's happiness outside of the borders. But the one thing I found interesting is that everybody wears the same uniform. and your superior would be like, "Well,
Oh.
it seems a little different." It's like, no, all the moms dress the exact same, whether it's from Kohl's or TJ Maxx. All the guys dress the exact same. They all wear their polos, which are their nice shirts with their little fucking dumbass industries. The name is Dumas.
The work logo, yeah.
Yeah, the work logo there. The kids are all still stuck in Favre jerseys because parents can't spring the extra 20 for a knockoff Jordan Love. I don't know. To my Appleton audience, I have no apologies to say.
I lived in Neenah for a while when I was covering.
You almost moved to Neenah.
I was not.
I don't know how almost, but
Grant, what is this Neenah?
Because I was working in Fond du Lac and she was in Green Bay.
That was Bart's why. My why is covering the Packers and not wanting to live in Green Bay, and so we were trying to figure out where in the Fox Valley we wanted to.
Why do you want to live in Green Bay?
Too much Packers all the time. I really did not want to be any closer to the.
You didn't want to run into Cletius Hunt at TCBY.
See, and honestly, like that's the kind of stuff that even when, I wasn't working, but you're in Green Bay, and then, like, it was hard to not go just to eat in Green Bay and not run into a player or two or a coach, and it's just like that awkward, like, hi,
Well, we've seen each other's face enough for a wait.
Can we just not?
Maybe if you would have wrapped your arms around all Packers all the time, then you wouldn't be doing this podcast with us twice a week, Paul.
Yeah.
I am much happier doing this.
Why didn't you start Paulhead TV all those years ago?
There was already Cheesehead TV. It wasn't as big as it is now, but it existed.
It did.
I actually do understand that. That's a reasonable explanation.
Yeah, it really was too much already. Too much.
I thought you were going to say like, I wanted to get out of the city. It's like you don't work in Manhattan, Paul. It's Green Bay, but that is an explanation that I'll accept. That makes sense.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of like Domofsky's stories of like, and then I saw McCarthy at this, and then we were at the kids baseball game, and so I didn't want any of that.
Well, Domofsky's on SportsCenter. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
He was already on SportsCenter.
He's in Greece.
Paul was on America's pregame, guys.
Yeah,
that's
come on. You didn't catch me with Mike Hill.
Fox Sports 1.
I did not. I did see that Rob Domofsky is watching Hogan play in Greece because that's where Lawrence has a travel, something or other. So that was pretty cool. So Rob finds time to get out of Green Bay. Just get away a little bit, but we've actually hitting it hard in a couple weeks.
It is such. I mean, Green Bay is truly such a small community, and it is so Packer centric that it's its own world. It's its own.
It's New Richmond with a football team, is what it is, and that's fine. It's not my bag, but it would if I went to the Packers facility every day for work. I totally understand. I learned a little something about you, Paul. I appreciate you sharing that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So who's going to the draft? Like 7 million people went to Detroit, right? 700,000.
Yeah. 700,000. And this pro football, the reason I brought this up is because I thought it was a little bit off the beaten path, something different to discuss. But it's because of this Pro Football Talk article, which was not actually written by Florio, but by one of his, counterparts. And it does note, actually, Grant, to your question earlier, that the Green Bay Press-Gazette said that nearly every Green Bay area hotel room is already booked for the week of the 2025 NFL Draft, and Airbnb prices are skyrocketing. Uses the example of someone is renting their house for the week, not for 3 days, $142,000 for the week, plus taxes.
It's like I've never bought a house, but there's at least one down payment tucked in there for a house, isn't there?
Oh, sure, that's a massive, yeah.
I mean, maybe not in the burbs, but certainly in Bart's neighborhood. I'm kidding. Bart has a Bart. You have a nice house and a lovely neighborhood. I didn't need it. We can cut that out, Tim.
Anyway, so I guess I am very happy for Green Bay. I'm very curious how it's going to play out, and I do wonder how far we'll be. Like, I love doing surveys. Not that I actually do them, but I would love to do them. Where are you staying? I want to survey like all. Seriously, this kind of stuff I nerd out on. But like, I want to know where everyone stayed and what is the average distance it takes them then to actually get to the draft from where they're staying, and how would that compare to Detroit? How would that compare to Vegas? Certainly, like in Vegas, there's so many options. It's like, oh, that took me 8 minutes to get to the draft from where I was staying. It'll probably be like an hour average. What would you guess? Like the average will be of how far it's going to take from wherever draft attendee X is staying to actually get to their spot at the draft. It'll probably be like a lot of Manitowoc, a lot of Appleton and Oshkosh, right? Even probably quite a bit of Milwaukee. I don't know.
Well,
just a ponderance of mine, a curiosity.
Baseball should make sure the Brewers have a series that weekend, I would say.
Oh, that'd be elite.
Wow. The schedule's already out, so we should actually already know.
For next year?
The MLB schedule comes out so far in advance.
No, it's not out yet.
But probably it's very
within
odd.
The next 2 months tops.
Yeah, like you're always halfway through the baseball season and like, here's next year's schedule.
It's always some fucking like random Tuesday.
Yeah, unbelievable.
By the way, one more thing to add before we move on. Paul, I am likely to believe that this will be a great success because it's the NFL. And you go back through even recent history, there's not a lot of L's to find with anything the NFL does.
But don't think that this was a test for a Super Bowl. I mean, that's never.
No.
Right.
Nope.
But what's so odd about that is like you would, maybe I'm wrong. I think you'd get, I mean, the stadium can only fit what the stadium can fit. But if you're going to get 750,000 people to the draft, if you can support that, you can support the 75,000 that would come for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but these media type don't like coming to Minneapolis for
this is not
48
NBA
degrees.
Oh, this is not NBA media though.
True.
NBA media wouldn't be.
They bitched about the Super Bowl in Minneapolis though. Back in the day, lots of people did.
Then they went to Dallas.
Dangerous.
A fucking ice storm.
Yeah, no kidding.
It
was.
It was a little cold in Vegas, if I'm being 100% honest. Just a couple months ago, I wasn't a big fan. I would have liked that to be a little different, but that's fine. It was a little chilly. It was a little cold.
Cover the NBA Summer League sometime in the middle of July.
I want to. I've schemed. I'm always scheming. I've schemed. It's like I could go there, broadcast, but I don't even like NBA regular.
I could get out there for that.
I don't like the NBA playoffs now, and now I'm supposed to go watch Summer League.
Summer League is so. I mean, I'm very burnt out on the NBA after a kind of a lackluster conclusion to all this.
Mm-hmm.
But Summer League, though I've not been, I've watched it on TV like a total nerd. Like, oh, it's 2:00 on a random Tuesday, and like there's how long can he hold that face for, Grant?
Fuck you.
But I'll watch it. But I think that would be so fun. It just seems like its own universe. But to that point, I only bring that up because it's apparently always. Wow, he looked frozen. It's always.
That was my new internet, bitch.
It's 100 degrees, Grant, in July in Vegas, and
yeah, it is. And I used to love the idea of Summer League a lot more before the one time where Paolo and Chet were going to play against each other, and the teams were like, "No, we're going to rest them." I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, if you can't play those two guys in that game, then why should I ever care about this product? Like, that's I'm still mad about that. I was excited to go home in my apartment in downtown La Crosse and watch that, and it's like, well, we're going to shut them down. It's like, then why even have Summer League? Seriously, and I'm not even being dramatic. Why have Summer League if you're going to not have those two at least play a little bit? Play 3 quarters.
Well, a product you should care about is Happy Place Hemp.
A lot of transition.
And the gummies and the tinctures. And now, folks, the dog treats. But also the seltzers, which do a number on you, both for fun times and for honk she if you're looking to help you fall asleep a little bit. Check out happyplacehemp.com. Again, the promo code is BART. Once you get to the checkout portion, you can type in BART and you will get 25% off. As I've mentioned many times, it is not just a one-time situation. It's not just a one-time code. Oh, I'm lucky. Wow, I typed in, new guy 10 and got 10% off. No. 25% off each and every order at happyplacehemp.com. Again, the promo code is BART. There's gummies with the THC. There's gummies without. There's the seltzers with it. There's a lot that you can dabble in. You see that map of where people are traveling to get their good time, fun times? We have really helped out Michigan. Here's your chance to still experience some joy in your life, your otherwise mundane-ass Appleton life, and keep the business in Wisconsin. HappyPlaceHemp.com.
Can you guys chit-chat for 3 minutes?
Sure. I can pause it, or
you figure that out.
Okay, well, I'll bring in Grant Bills here, our UWL legal correspondent.
Do you? Yeah.
What's the latest?
I went
How's your
full-
thread going?
I went full Aaron Rupar. Well, so the opening statement was great, and then they brought in an investigator, and it was difficult to hear him. This was the person who like went through the guy's computer, and then he presented, and then UW asked questions, but then Joe Gao has a chance in all of these instances to cross-examine. So Joe Gao was like, "Where did you stumble across these videos? You found them?" Just to be correct, like, I don't know. He's role playing a lawyer, so that was pretty entertaining. They brought in Linda Dickmeyer. Who did you ever have her in class, Dr. Dickmeyer?
I had a class with her where we're talking. We got to do a professional reset. We're talking about Joe Gao, the embattled ex-chancellor.
It's the trial of the hearing of the summer
of the chancellor who got booted from UWL because he was sleeping with his wife.
That's
on camera.
Stop. You and everyone else. Like, am I the only one who can talk about this like an adult? That's not why he's in trouble. People nail their wife all
You
the time.
found the videos.
Yeah. What do you mean I found? Those videos. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
He was making pornographic videos.
Adult films, explicit material, yes.
I want to begin by acknowledging that, yes, my wife, Carmen Wilson, and I created a series of sexually explicit videos and books. We did so on our own time, using our own money. And as I'll show, we did not intend to profit from sharing those videos and books with other people. And most importantly, we certainly did not want to force anyone to read or view them. We respect that many people do not wish to view sexually explicit material.
Wait, I love his ending on this one.
It's great.
He's like,
you need to watch this on the Dan Schani YouTube stream.
See that the prosecution in this case has entered into evidence sexually explicit images from our videos. We hope the prosecution is not going to force anyone here to view those images. And I would suggest if you are going to present them, that you give people a warning. If you don't want to see that kind of thing, you can leave the room. I'm very sorry about that.
What's to be sorry about? I didn't like that I think that kills his case.
His case was dead on arrival.
What else have you clipped from this?
The first cross-examination, although look at him fucking with the mic.
Oh, it's like you think he'd have a little more experience with phallic objects like that.
The bottom one, him going back and forth with Dr. Dickmeyer was pretty wild, because basically that part of if you go back and watch it, that part of the hearing was wild. Because
was this after they asked her if she wants him to teach in the apartment?
She is speaking about how he used to come and he would want to be a part of classes, and
that was the whole point of the videos. Yes,
yeah, it was. She's like, it never made any sense. Like, it would take too long. We didn't know what to do with them, and they're asking. He wants to keep teaching, and she's like, "Do you want him to keep teaching these high-level CST classes, these communication studies classes?" And she's like, "No, not at all."
So,
and he's arguing that he should.
He got booted as the chancellor, but wants to stay and teach.
Yes.
Instead of just securing the Monty Williams bag and fucking running away.
A huge bag for someone
None of this needs to be happening.
No.
This is like, this video is more graphic than the fucking porns he's making.
Yeah, just take the money and run, dude.
So, Miss Dickmeyer, I guess I'll say.
That's Dr. Dickmeyer. I had my own little disciplinary.
It was a titan of a marriage. It was Linda and Scott.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever have Scott in class?
I did.
Respectfully, Linda.
Well, Linda, and I she was a professor that was, I think, pretty close. I was with at the time.
I never had her, but I had a disciplinary meeting with her and a third party.
Why?
Because of things that I said them, but it was on a podcast with me and my two buddies, and those two, for whatever reason, were not involved in any of it.
Didn't Joe Gao do your podcast?
Yeah, and I can't find the fucking audio, and it's driving me nuts.
He's just like, yeah, I'll do it.
He just showed up by himself.
I was in a class of Linda's where it was 15 people, and I was the only dude.
What class?
Interpersonal or extrapersonal or extra.
We had all take interpersonal.
I didn't. I obviously did not capitalize on my situation. All right, I want to watch this Q&A then. Yeah, he's not even. Someone asks you, is he suing? No.
No. Although he does threaten potential litigation in this clip, which I think is a significant part of the proceeding.
Why is this hearing available to our eyes and ears?
WXOW.
But
That's
why
fine.
in the first place? Like, couldn't they just have done this and not told anyone?
That's I would bet you dollars to donuts the UW would have loved nothing more than to do it that way. Yeah.
All right, so this is a Q&A with him and my girl Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Well, this isn't a courtroom, right?
it's not.
I mean,
but
I'm trying to convince you and
Right.
other people. So, but maybe we'll end up in a courtroom. I don't know. So,
I'm,
great. I'll let it go at that. Thank you.
I just want you to ask a question and let her answer. But
Well, I did ask her, do you recall? I said I would teach in any format you like, any days.
This is buffering on my end, not on your end. Just leave it. It's good.
Oh, you dick.
I know.
That's a
helpful,
real
not
big ploy.
Imposing myself.
right, and I was waiting for
Yeah.
that answer.
So the classes listed were 4 classes that you would need recent, current. In media studies is a very fast changing area of expertise. And so we are concerned we have no evidence that Dr. Gao would be able to teach those high level media studies courses at this time in his career.
So you don't think my experience being interviewed by the New York Times,
By the
Washington
Grant
Post,
Bills
the
podcast.
Times of London, CNN, NBC News, Nightly News, Nightline, that wouldn't be good experience?
Those aren't theories or context or content that we teach in media studies courses.
The body language, I didn't notice that
That's
until
gotta
now.
be a meme. That's gotta be a meme.
The look he gives his wife after replying with, I didn't notice that when I cut it. That fucking rules. He's like, get a load of that.
Joe, we don't think you have the experience to teach this class. You don't think because I've been interviewed about my porn by 10 of the most reputable companies, I can't.
No, it's like, Joe, that's the reason. He's beside himself that did not stick is a talking point. Anyways.
It's like Norm Macdonald's theory that the joke's the funniest when it's just a repeat of the punchline.
Yes. Yes.
Joe Gau's he's answering the question in the answer.
Hey,
Well,
Paul.
that's what you're supposed to do. Never mind. Whatever. All right. Paul Immig is back. Thank you. Grant Bills, our UWL correspondent.
And I have no idea the context of any of this, so I'm glad you guys did that in my absence. Maybe it's a good transition to the following topic.
What on earth could this be?
Bill Belichick.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Or mm-mm.
No. Bad.
That was all I was going to ask.
Are you just trying to
Belichick.
get me to say what I texted you the other day?
You are your own decision maker on such things.
I did say it last night.
You did?
I said it is disgusting. It is weird on both accounts. But if the unthinkable happened and I was a lonely old man at 75, I don't think I would look for reasons to not pursue that.
That's the PG version of what you texted.
Yeah.
I think of the Always Sunny scene where someone is explaining to Mac, like, oh, my boyfriend put naked pictures of me on one of those revenge porn websites. And Mac is like, that's disgusting. Where, though? Like, which websites did he put them on? Like, that's my response to this is like, that's awful. But also, like, if I was 75 and terrible, but also I would too if I was him. Why not?
So do I put up a screen mirror here of our text?
No, please.
No.
Some things are left best unsaid.
I wouldn't do that to you. All right, that's all I have on that topic.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have a different coaching one, though. Monty Williams was fired with 5
But
years.
one more thing.
Go ahead. Oh, you have more? Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I had a boss once who just started, he was twice as old as me, started dating a chick my age. And I think, yeah, okay, you look at each other, age is just a number. I get it. If you're in a relationship, age is just a number. But can we think about everyone else who has to be around this and pretend like it's normal?
Right.
Like, I'm 65. My new girlfriend's 37. Yeah, that doesn't trigger immediate responses in both what are you doing, but honestly, what the fuck is she doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's it worse for?
The only good part, the most interesting part of this has been some of the replies.
Is it better or worse if she's a Patriots fan? If she's like, oh, I don't know about football, is that worse? Or is it worse if she's like, I secured the coach?
Yeah.
You brought it up. Don't give me the yeah.
That is true. Paul did bring it up. And
You
Paul's
brought
not the
it
one to bring
up.
these things up normally.
I think there's two interesting things. I think there's two, like, well, whatever. Okay. So do you remember,
back to the text on that one, I think.
in Parks and Rec, Andy Dwyer did ask, he was trying to figure out if he could ask April out on a date. And he asked Tom Haverford, he said, so is this weird or was it? And Tom said, you know the rule. Take your age, divide by 2 and add 7. So then Andy's like, okay, I'm 29. Is 14. So Belichick does not pass the Tom Haverford rule because that would be 72 divided by 2, 36, add 7, 43. 43 is 19 more than this girl's actual age. Yeah.
Well, when you could be your girlfriend's dad's dad, I think there's got to be a cutoff there.
That's weird.
But there was some tweets that I saw which were basically like, your daughter brings home a guy. He's like, Dad, I'd like you to meet. This is Bill.
It's just fucking Bill. Hey, yeah, here's the tweet. Imagine bringing him home to dad, like, quote, this is my boyfriend, Bill Belichick.
And then you get like the most, like, Belichick's this hard ass on to Cincinnati. But then you get like trying to please and win over the girlfriend dad version of Bill Belichick. And he's like, oh, great to meet you, sir. Yeah, so I'm
He's submissive to her father.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up. Is she like Instagram famous, or is this just like a normal?
He met her on a plane. She was
Wait,
doing
what?
her physics homework.
Oh my God. That's a real story?
That's what I read.
So the picture that TMZ used or that they used of them on the plane, that was like when they met?
I think so.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. It's a good way to cap this all off.
Okay.
She looks like such a child.
Yeah, that's the plane where, and like the look from, I mean, is that the first time, is that Belichick's only smiling photo in the history of Belichick photos?
Yeah, 6 Super Bowls do nothing for the man. Dating a girl 6 decades younger than him is where you get the frown to turn upside down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, this week has featured the Belichick story. It featured T.Y. Hilton having his son commit to the Badgers. T.Y. Hilton, who's 34.
That's right.
It's been a week for like interesting age. Wait, T.Y. Hilton has a kid and that's the Badgers?
Hey,
How old
age
is Hilton?
is just a number that defines how old you are and what socially acceptable other people you should be together with. It's just a number.
Yeah, totally. I'm going through, sometimes I just I save some of these things just in case I might randomly bring them up. And here's one that's totally off topic, but I'm just going through like the news of the week, the things that I found interesting of the week. And there's this one. I don't know who sent this, but maybe you guys saw this on Twitter X. Someone sent the following Father's Day message to their dad. Happy Father's Day, Pop. You've taught me how to be a man, a husband, and one day a father. I am who I am today because of you. I'm thankful every day of the opportunity to learn from you. You're my hero. I love you, Dad. To which the dad responded, driving.
I did immediately see that. I thought it was awesome. I feel like he and his dad were working together for a setup and a viral tweet.
Either way, I appreciated it regardless. All right. I was starting to ask then, unless you have anything else on Bill or other.
No, please,
Andy
God, don't
Dwyer
make me say anything else.
The NBA coaching carousel is officially out of control. Or This, of course, on the heels of Monty Williams, who last year got, I think it was the richest coaching NBA contract in history, I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
6 years, 80 million or whatever, 78 million. He leaves with 5 years and $65 million left, is still getting $20 million from Phoenix after that buyout or that firing, and then the money's guaranteed. And Bart, you had a topic about this after Bickerstaff was fired, but all of that time
Who
later,
did they hire?
They haven't yet.
They still need a coach?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Cleveland.
Yeah, they have not. Now, it sounds like it might be James Borrego, but now Detroit also wants James Borrego. So
you can't fire Monty with $60 million left for James Borrego.
Well, let's use your
with
Jason
all
Kidd.
due.
I mean, was the house on fire? Like, you just woke up after you
It
just
must have been.
No, they got new management in there.
Trajan Langdon, which is also weird.
Troy Weaver's gone.
Troy Weaver's gone. Trajan Langdon is in. But if the NBA
this big market kind of, well, I'm the new guy. I better make an immediate change to both put my stamp on the place and show that I'm in charge and you should fear me. Like,
yeah,
maybe they just needed a new person. Maybe everything's running fine and you just need a new guy to fill the job because somebody else left. We don't always have to come in here and
I need
take over your Sim City and then
my guy. I got to get my guy in there.
And then it's not even like your guy. It's just like some guy who was last man standing.
It's just James Borrego.
Yeah, James Borrego. Oh, my guy, James Borrego.
Right.
Now, I guess they worked together for a couple of years in Nolans.
Who, Trajan Langdon and him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
But
bookmarked
still-
that tweet as well for use on my show and others, yes.
I heard it on the Jim Rome program.
You were listening to the Rome program.
Well, I got to be honest. He has been probably the main catalyst in the times I have said X instead of Twitter.
Interesting.
Because Jim Rome on X.
I was really hoping to see him last weekend when I was in Eagle River.
Oh, his I think it's next month is when his vacation is.
We went to the bar where his son works. We were talking to the
there?
bartenders. No, he was not. His son or Jim Rome?
The son.
No. It was a bunch of ladies and somebody in our group who, whatever.
They probably get that all the time.
Yeah, he was like, "Does Jim Rome work here?" And the ladies are like, "Who's Jim Rome?" They were like younger girls, and one of the bartenders from the other end like, "That's so and so's dad," and they're like, "Oh," like they don't know, like complete Justin Timberlake treatment, right? Like they don't know who it is.
That's the other news of the week.
Yeah, but we went by his house. Our boat captain's like, "That's Jim Rome's place. I go by here all the time. He's out floating in his little thingamabob off the dock." So no, but he wasn't up there. I would have gone to talk to him, but I would have.
Well, he's my
you,
colleague.
Yeah, I would have name dropped you.
He'd be like, "Who?"
Is it that
The guy who has no filter? You hear the promos, Jim? They run all day.
That's what it says
Have you never heard him?
about me.
The promos?
Yeah.
You've never heard your promos that run.
What does it say?
It says Bart Winkler has no filter, and then it
What?
plays. I'll find it.
Oh my goodness!
I don't fucking know that.
That's really
I
funny.
have
They
no
run.
filter.
They run all the time on OZN. I'll go find one.
I never heard it. I got no idea.
That's funny. Here, I got to cut an hour audio anyways. You guys keep going, and when I find it, I'll play it for you. We can judge the.
Well,
promo.
Detroit was my team last year that I kept being because they were getting their ass kicked in terms of win loss.
Mm-hmm.
But I also thought that they would make the playoffs this upcoming year. I've said that.
Yeah.
Now, whether I adjust that to say it's the play-in is what I meant or whatever, but I think that they have a nice thing going in terms of, I don't know how it's going to work, but they have the potential of it working. I think there's enough good talent there. They're getting fucked in the draft repeatedly, which sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't know who you convinced to come in there, whether they want to throw. I mean, do you throw a bag at Derek Jones Jr.?
No.
Do you throw a bag at Klay Thompson?
Well, they did that with Jeremy Grant, and wow, that sure
and
changed.
Bojan. Like they've been throwing bags at players like that. And in theory, Paul, I thought some of those things were going to work. It's like, well, you need some veterans, good shooting along the young guys, and it's been a catastrophe.
Yeah. But Bart, I mean, if it wasn't broken with Bickerstaff, but seriously, you really have a year or two.
You're not even assured a year. We just saw that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What do you got to do to be coaching by the All-Star break?
Let's not act like coaching's the only job where you need to produce or you lose your job. Like if you went to work, if you got a new job and you worked for 3 or 4 months and you were bad, you would also lose your job. Like, let's be fair here.
But the difference here, though, Grant,
Or an NFL kicker, as the Packers have just released Jack Podlensky.
Big loss. No, but Grant, the difference is that they still have to pay him for the next 5 years. It's not like a typical employee where you're like, well, this didn't
It's
work
not like
out.
a pity little severance.
$65 million.
You get the whole contract.
It's right. To not coach. He's going to get $85 million from 2 NBA teams to not coach. The Bucks are paying 3 coaches. Budenholzer is double dipping.
To go back to Joe Gao, imagine if Monty was like, no, I don't want the buyout. I just want to still work here and be a scout.
Yeah.
That's what Joe Gao's trying to do. I don't want the bag. I want to teach. Well, do you have any experience? Yeah, I did a 15-minute Zoom with NBC News and Politico last month.
And they hung up that Zoom and were like, Jesus Christ. That's how that went. You know what I mean?
This fucking guy's doing porn?
Who's watching that? Where's the market for that? Paul, so I love that this is a topic that you brought up, and it's something that I'm going to talk about tonight, mostly because, God, I need things to talk about.
Monty Williams got fired. I woke up, I was like this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I can spin Reddick into that. Oh, my God. I'll get my full hour on coaching.
I just, Paul, you seem perturbed by this, okay?
I think the system's broken.
Okay. So let's stop right there. Who is it broken for? Is this the fault of teams? Is this the fault of players? Is this the fault of the coaches themselves? There is frustration from you.
I'll tell you who it's the
directed.
I'll tell you.
Sure, go ahead, Bart. Speak for him. Yeah.
How dare Grant oppose one for me, you dickhead? What?
The phone.
The phone.
The microwave society that we have fallen into by these contraptions, which it's like, are you walking the dog or is the dog walking you?
Interesting.
God.
Grant, it's Matt Ishbia in Phoenix. You know, it's just like the new guy comes in, and Bart said it, but like he wants this person, whoever, like they always want to put their stamp on the thing. And so you have, I don't know, it is probably societal to some degree, but it is like in the NBA, there's such high stakes. Everyone wants to feel like, well, look at the thing that I did. Look at the guy that I hired, the player that I traded for. I came in and I made a splash.
I think that's a rich masculine thing. I think that's a men in power thing. That's what that is.
That's why I'm saying, like, societally, it's not. I don't think it's just reserved for the NBA. It's that someone enters into their new high-profile situation, particularly ownership type of thing, and they're like, "This needs to become my vision." And it's like, well, but like this guy was just hired a year ago, and you owe him $65 million. He's a really well-respected coach, one of the most liked guys in the NBA circles. I don't care. It's like, well, but okay, you can fire him. That's okay. Who are you going to hire? I don't know.
Well, that's,
I got to hire a guy too.
It's like,
okay.
It's like, can you
I can't just fire someone. I got to hire him now.
I can pick between, like, so I can pay Monty Williams. By the way, I still have to pay Monty Williams every dollar, every cent. Yes, you do. Okay, let's still fire him. And so who are my candidates to maybe replace him? James Borrego, but we're going to have to compete with Cleveland for James fucking Borrego. Like, what are we doing?
Here's another thing. In the NFL, you fire your coach, and there's like 5 guys that fans know. I want this guy. This guy would give me going.
Vrabel isn't coaching this year. Belichick isn't coaching this year. Like
this
really
OC, this DC, there's a million up and comers. Where are they coming from in the NBA? We don't know who these guys are. There's no young rising talent. I mean, Jesus Christ, Reddick. Imagine who's the NFL equivalent to JJ Reddick. If someone in the NFL came out of the media get a job, you'd be like, huh?
Greg Olson.
Yeah, well, I guess they did it with Jeff Saturday, and everyone lost their shit. Like, to be fair, so, and that was in the middle of the year, so that was a little different. But I don't know, the coaching, like, how can a fan base get excited about any of these guys? When was the last time an NBA team hired a coach and the fans were like, yeah, we did it?
I think
what a great hire.
I do think Dan Hurley would have been that.
I don't. Well,
really?
It would have been sexy and entertaining. We know who he is.
I mean. Like you'd have reason to believe. You would have been like, oh, like
Sure.
Honestly, kind of like Doc Rivers, though he's not the world's best coach. Like he still has name value, and you're like, oh, I remember Doc Rivers. I know Doc Rivers. Like
here's another thing with.
But Sam Cassell can't get a job.
Yeah, that's odd. Sam Cassell, every year people talk about, well, they should hire Sam Cassell, and he never gets hired.
Bart, I heard you get a call from when you're on your national show from a guy that's like, what the hell? Why? I mean, Sam Cassell can't get it. So like all these guys are getting first time. Cassell has put in the years on coaching staffs, on the bench.
Like 15 years.
A lot of
not a short amount of years either.
Yes.
Like a lot of years.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's broke. I just think it's broken. It's not. I don't even think it's necessarily bad or good, but really, it's like you see these, and they're just reports, so we should take it all with a grain of salt. But it doesn't. It's not totally dissimilar from these reports that you guys might have seen, where it's like, well, if Donovan Mitchell extends, his agent team is hoping Darius Garland goes to a Western Conference team. It's like you're not really anywhere. Like even like it's like, oh, this is my teammate who I really like, and we're a pretty good backcourt. We made the playoffs, and we probably would have advanced farther if not for the fact that Jarrett Allen got hurt, and then Donovan Mitchell got hurt. And oh, by the way, we hate our coach. Maybe that's another part. But it's like it's all just like pivot moves on the checkerboard or the chessboard, right? Where, well, I like Donovan, but we're kind of a small backcourt. So if you do re-sign him, trade me, but don't just trade me. Trade me to a Western Conference team. That's what my agent wants. No, like who are you to? We drafted you 5th overall, Darius. We liked you. We just had a good playoff year. We're getting a new coach. What do you mean trade you if we re-sign Donovan? Like it's
him or me. But you're Darius Garland playing for the Cavs. Like where do you go?
Who I really like, by the way. Like
I do too.
Trade him. For
I don't know if we have another topic or something. I have found a promo. Would you like to hear it, Bart? This is your promo. So I think what I have to do.
I've never heard it.
I think what I have to do is mute you because I'm going to feed you my PC audio, but I can't have it loop back through. So I'm going to mute your tab. Give me a thumbs up when you can hear it, if you can hear it start playing. Okay.
Bart Winkler has no filter.
I still think the philosophy for me in the draft, if I'm a GM, I take my guy where I draft. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to trade back. I'm going to get my guy. If there's a guy I want, I will do whatever it takes to get him. A lot of these teams, and there's been a couple of articles published this week that the smartest thing to do in the draft is never trade up. Only trade up if you're going to get a quarterback. The right thing to do in most cases is to trade down.
Funniest part, listen to what comes next after this.
1670 AM, The Zone.
Oh. Okay, bumper. Bumper. Bumper.
Game. Good to have you. The play of the game was the play that ended the game.
It's always the last thing in the spot set. So sorry, I forgot I had a custom bumper put in there, but yeah, I hear that every day.
Let's recap what just happened, because a lot just happened. That Bart does say a lot of things where I would probably say like has no filter. It would not have been like his mundane take on.
Here's how I would go about drafting a quarterback.
Bart has no filter. The Boston Celtics 13 championships prior to 1978 are shit.
That would have been a better example.
No filter.
Kind of goes hard.
I mean, I do have a filter.
What people don't yet know is that your national show persona is extremely filtered.
Yeah.
Like extraordinarily filtered.
I mean, it's getting more. I mean, in the beginning, we're getting more closer to, like me randomly ripping on this guy no one fucking knows, Shane Young.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Me being so like, guys, I'm not doing this to get you mad. While I am doing it to get people mad. So some of it's coming through. Austin called last night and he was like, he had his point and he goes, all right, so can I just, if we're going to trade Willie, I would rather think that we trade Sal Frelick and I'm like, Austin. He goes, no one cares. I go, no one fucking cares. He goes, I know, I just tried. That's funny.
What is what's on? Do you have more to say about your no filter? Otherwise, I have a question for you.
Yeah, and I have to tell you some news. I did trade my pick.
Oh, well, you couldn't have waited till after this.
Well, I traded 310.
Oh,
for a third in 2026.
Okay,
and another fourth in this round. Which, if you want 4.08, I would take a fourth in 2026 if you want back in.
Let me get back in.
Okay, so because I only wanted one more guy, and it was this receiver from the Cowboys.
Who?
Ryan Flournoy.
Oh, yeah, Flournoy.
Well, he's a rookie 7th round pick, but they're saying good things, and they think he could be the number 2 by October.
Grant, Bart is one of the best in our one dynasty football league together, and is the worst by a long shot in the other that we're in together.
I've drafted in this draft. I took, who did I take?
Marvin
I had so
Harrison.
many picks. It was unconscious. Marvin Harrison, Jonathan Brooks, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas Jr., Trey Benson, Penix, and now my random dude.
You had to be the one to take Penix. That just makes all the logical sense.
Oh, yeah.
My question is an topic.
And I traded 2 picks for 2 future picks.
I traded up 2 spots from 205 to 203.
You want my 4th round? I'll offer you that trade.
Send it to me.
All right.
Send it to me.
I mean, 2026, who gives a fuck? All right, your question, then we should wrap up.
I think that's the edge with dynasty leagues, is just try to win now, because you'll be amazed how many people just aren't trying to do that.
But I'm not like future pick hunting. I don't have anyone else I can cut. I'm adding 7 players to my roster.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to cut so I'm trying to trade them for future picks, but the offers I've got have been shit. Hey, I'll trade you a Pat Freiermuth. Okay, what do you want? 4th round pick. Fuck you.
No.
Zach Moss for a 3rd, I entertain, but I have no running backs. Okay,
Yeah.
what?
What's the Bartometer topic? That's my question.
I'm doing the championship one.
Such a dickhead. Here's my other question for you.
Well, I think that one can generate more calls. If I just do draft bust, it'll be a one and done segment.
And by the way, you could still do draft busts next week, like after the end of the 2nd round. So next Thursday, the 2nd round will have just concluded. And then you could, and by the way, you could put whoever ends up I just saw the draft comp for Alex Sarr, who might go. He's probably sounds like he's going to go 2. Alex Sarr is going to go 2.
Yeah, now some other guys won.
The dude Zacharias.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say his name, but the comp, the comp for Alex Sarr, who might go 1 or 2, is Nick Claxton. So Nick Claxton might go
player, but
right, I like him a lot, but this isn't. So my other thing is, we can talk about this off air if you prefer. You can just cut this. But have you considered doing a Bart Caller standings? Because I've been ranking what I
really.
Yeah, I just started it this week. I just said I'm going to put down some names, then I'm going to start to sort them through, and then.
Who would you put up?
I was trying to I was thinking of what the acronym would be if it was because if you wouldn't want it to be you, Bart, giving your opinion, because then you're making preferences. But if it was neutral third party.
Oh, Bartometer caller standings.
You could, but then you probably wouldn't really be hiding behind. It's oh.
Well, I'll tell you some people off the top of my head. Greg in Michigan would be on there.
On the list, yep.
For the main reason that people throughout the night call and refer to him.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Robert in Annapolis is on there.
He's in mine.
The guy who I can't understand a fucking word he says
is not on mine because
Mike in Alabama.
Okay. They are really entertaining calls.
Lee in Baltimore would be on there.
Lee's on my list.
There's a guy, Stanley in Chicago, that calls and shits on me about the Brewers.
Okay, I don't know if I have Stanley.
Hasn't called in a while since the losing streak. Who else you got?
Rick in Toronto.
Oh, fuck yeah. Rick's
I like Super Dave in DC.
Okay, he's getting up there. He's only called a few times.
He's kind of on a hot streak.
Last night, I got Austin and Spark Guy.
Oh, you got Spark Guy too? Nice. And then I have your boy Steven in Appleton.
Oh, yeah, Steven.
Wait, who tries to get you to go to Brazil?
Oh, Barry in Boston.
Barry in Boston. I got to add Barry.
There's some good ones.
But
No,
like I put
the
like
fourth hour on Monday was I had like 3 shitty callers in a row.
On
I'm
which
just like Monday.
at the 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I did hear that, and at one point it's like this show desperately needs to be 3 hours.
Yeah. I'm gonna start pitching that on air, but like never tell my boss like, "Hey, can you make my show 3 hours?" But on air, I'll just be like, "Oh fuck, this has to be a 3-hour show."
So I put some like pros and cons for some of these guys. So like Greg in Michigan, I would have said, yeah, he would be higher if he could be more monogamous to the Bart Winkler show, but he's always calling this show and that show. He's referring to this host and that host. So Greg, great calls, right? But you can't be number one if you're not exclusive. You know, so like that was my demerit for him. And is it Robert's the one that gives you like the 6 questions, right?
No, it's James in Georgia.
James in Georgia's got 6 questions. All right, James is gonna go with us here. James in Georgia.
Robert's the one who's always like, "Well, and I'm sick of tired of you calling about the NBA, but I'm gonna also talk about the NBA."
Well, Rick in Toronto is probably I'd not like officially. I think Rick in Toronto is my number 1.
It is just a treat that the most Rick-like in Oshkosh caller I have is also named Rick.
It's awesome. Okay, Bart. Okay, I'll let you go.
He goes, and the thing you didn't bring up at night was Joe Hendry. He said that.
Really?
Yeah. And I go, okay, I'm going to bring this up only because I know what you're talking about. No one else does. There's this fucking wrestler in NXT. I don't know if he's any good or not. I've never heard of him. He's from TNA. His debut was awesome. I watched the first 15 seconds 35 times. And he was like stunned I knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Oh, he wanted to stump you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gary Wolfel is such a fuck.
Yeah, that was bullshit today.
I'm just seeing it now.
Read it.
He said, I recently chatted with a few NBA sources since ex-Lakers head coach Darvin Ham joined the staff. They were adamant in saying Giannis Antetokounmpo had major input in Ham's hiring. Shocking, eh? Some of those same sources also contend that Ham, who had offers from several other teams, took the Bucks job with the assumption he'll eventually succeed Doc Rivers as Bucks head coach. I don't give it the succession that doesn't exist in real life. Everyone thinks that exists. Coaching succession plans only exist in New England. It's never, well, Jim Leonard thought he would succeed Paul Chris. That was ridiculous. But the idea, Giannis wanted him back. Shocking, right? Oh,
can you read the first part again? I'll tell you what really happened. And this is a big problem with our media today.
The guy who was integral to the Bucks 2021 title. Giannis is fucking killing.
No, read it again. Read the beginning. I'll tell you what happened.
From the very beginning, or
beginning of the tweet.
A very good place to start. I recently chatted with a few NBA sources since ex-Lakers head coach Darvin Ham joined the Bucks staff. They were adamant in saying Giannis had major input in Ham's hiring. Shocking.
Okay. What happened was Gary Wolfel texted someone who worked in the Bucks a long time ago, and he said, like, what do you think of this Ham hire? And the other guy who's no longer with the team, probably hasn't been for a long time, says, yeah, probably Giannis directed. And then Gary can paint that as, I talked with a source of the NBA who, it's not news. He's shit posting with his buddy and then making it look like news.
Even if Giannis did want him back, why wouldn't he? Giannis wanted credit. We get this a lot on our network.
Like, what does he say no to? Have the Bucks ever gone to him and been like, well, besides Nick Nurse?
That's true.
Nurse. But
yeah, which he's right for.
Yeah.
He heard us fans bitching about Nick Nurse for 5 years. He's not going to betray us by then having that guy come.
The fans won't like it. But the idea, we get this on our network all the time, where it's like, well, he wanted Chris back. He's his buddy. Chris Middleton's fucking good. Like,
and if you get rid of him, you get no replacement.
People, Bart, how have we been saying that for 5 years? Where it's like, you can have Chris Middleton or you can have nothing. And
why is it the Bucks' fault that they traded Drew to Portland and then did not interact with the Bucks or the Celtics in this entire playoffs? But everyone's cool with the Mavs trading Porzingis to the Wizards, who then trade him to Boston, and then they use Porzingis to beat the Mavs.
Well, because they lost. So there is that. That was also longer ago. But also, like, Portland got nothing for Drew.
Nothing.
They got 2 players made of glass,
and they're not even getting rewarded for bad behavior. They're immune from it.
No. I don't. We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, where it's like, hey guys, you can have Chris Middleton or you can have nobody. Fans are like, okay, and then and then one thing will happen and be like, why did they keep Middleton? It's like, you guys
he'll go like 5 for 17. Meanwhile, that got Jason Tatum 4 MVP votes in the finals.
He's the absolute worst. And we are all losers for having to watch him win a title. It's just miserable. Sorry, Paul. I know we were about to wrap up, but I saw Gary Wolfel tweet.
No, because of that, I'm going to play the thing and then we'll dip.
What thing?
The Jason Tatum thing.
Oh,
gross.
About how he well, no, I can't find it.
I gotta run. But you guys be well.
See you, Paul.
Right.
We can wrap up. I have the Jason Tatum thing. Do you want me to play it here?
Oh, I got it with
I'll play another one next. Mine's different.
Okay. This is again Dan Schani YouTube. This is Jason Tatum recreating everything that's ever happened in the NBA or otherwise.
We did it. We did it! Anything's possible. Anything's possible! What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now?
I know everybody will wonder what would happen if he didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
I just realized it's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse show. Slowed down.
He sucks so much. This is the other soundbite of Tatum that I keep hearing everywhere.
Bart Winkler has no filter.
Shit. This is wrong one. I'll keep looking. Let's wrap up. I'll have it next week.
Oh, you pranking me, dog?
No. Bart Winkler has no filter. Nice promo. I like it. Well, thanks for the time. Thanks for having me, Bart. This is always fun.
Thanks for being here.
I gotta go get back to the Joe Gao beat.
Yeah, maybe this will somehow boost his ratings.
I don't know what he wants. It's like, dude, you could just take so much money and keep making porn. Even like they're
maybe
not
he's
even
got
asking
Aaron
you
Rodgers
stop.
disease. He just wants you to be aware of what Joe Gao is up to.
I guess. Thank you, Bart, for the time. This is excellent.
Grant Bills.
Goodbye.
And Paul Immig. Thank them and thank you all for stepping into the Winklerverse.